Welcome to our channel, USA Coin Spot. You won't believe how much this dirty old penny sold for. Top 1. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought it was just another piece of metal? Something so small and common that it hardly matters? What if I told you that one single penny from 1970, yes, just one tiny penny, could actually be your golden ticket to an unimaginable fortune? That's right, a coin most people toss aside could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. And today, we're diving deep into the secret world of the 1970 American penny from a proof set, a coin that's quietly been hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to shine. Now, this isn't your everyday penny. This is a coin specially crafted by the US Mint, struck with extraordinary precision and care, designed for collectors who wanted the absolute best. It was never meant to jingle around in your pocket or get lost between the couch cushions. Instead, it was part of a proof set, a carefully assembled collection that showcased the finest coins the Mint could produce in that year. Proof pennies from 1970 are known for their mirror-like surfaces, razor-sharp details, and a finish so flawless, it almost looks unreal. These coins were struck multiple times with specially prepared dies, giving them a depth and clarity no ordinary penny could match. The problem? Many of these proof pennies were separated from their sets, handled carelessly, or stored improperly, causing their value to plummet. But the ones that survived, the ones that stayed untouched, perfect, pristine, those are the coins that have collectors and investors scrambling. Imagine holding a coin so flawless it's like holding a tiny piece of American history frozen in time. A coin that looks as if it was made yesterday, even though it's been sitting quietly for over 50 years. These proof pennies, especially in top grades, have become some of the most sought-after coins in the United States. Collectors don't just want them, they're willing to pay handsomely to own the very best. Professional grading services have seen these 1970 proof pennies come back as perfect examples, coins with no imperfections visible under intense scrutiny. And when a coin achieves that kind of perfection, its value skyrockets. Over the years, auctions and private sales have pushed prices to astonishing heights. We're not talking about hundreds of dollars here, we're talking about serious money, the kind that can change lives. Investors who recognize the rarity and condition of these coins are jumping at the chance to add them to their collections, sometimes paying eye-watering sums just to secure one perfect penny. So what does this mean for you? If you happen to find a 1970 penny from a proof set, especially one that's been protected and preserved in top condition, you could be sitting on a treasure chest. It could be the difference between a simple collectible and a small fortune. You don't have to be a professional coin dealer or an expert to spot a proof penny. Look for that mirror-like finish, the sharpness in the details, and the unmistakable shine that sets it apart from regular pennies. If you find one that's flawless, that has that perfect deep cameo look, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And here's the kicker, these coins have been known to sell for as low as $2,700 and, in the most extraordinary cases, as much as $83,000. Yes, one penny, a coin that costs 1 cent to buy, could be worth nearly $100,000 if it's the right proof penny in perfect condition. So next time you're sorting through coins, don't overlook that small copper disc from 1970. It could be your ticket to a windfall, a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Check your proof sets, dig through your collections, and keep an eye out, because this humble penny could be your biggest surprise yet. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe for more hidden coin treasures. And if you ever find a 1970 proof penny that looks flawless, come back and tell me about it. I want to hear your stories. Remember, sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. Don't miss your chance to find out if you have a real treasure in your hands. Good luck, and happy hunting! Top 2. Have you ever held a simple penny in your hand and wondered, what if this tiny coin was worth more than your car, or even your house? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever struck by the US Mint. We're talking about the 1982 American penny, but not just any penny. This is a specific version, straight from a proof set, and it could be hiding in plain sight, worth as much as $79,000. Yes. You heard that right. 1 cent $79,000. But why? Why is this particular coin so incredibly rare? Why are collectors across the country, and even around the world, scrambling to find it? What makes the 1982 penny from a proof set so valuable? Let's break this down and reveal the secret behind this copper-colored jackpot. First, a little background. The year 1982 was a turning point for the humble penny. Until that year, pennies were made mostly from copper. But in mid-1982, due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint made a major change. They switched the composition from 95% copper to a cheaper mix, mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating. But here's where it gets really interesting. During this transitional period, the Mint didn't just change the metal. They also used two different font styles for the date on the coin, one with large numerals and one with small numerals. And they were striking them in both copper and zinc. That means there are several different varieties of the 1982 penny, some with large dates, some with small. Some copper, some zinc. Now here's the twist that collectors are obsessed with. Not all of these varieties were officially supposed to exist. And some ended up in proof sets. Those special collector's editions the Mint creates with flawless coins, never meant for general circulation. Normally, proof sets are carefully controlled. But a few extremely rare 1982 pennies, specifically a copper penny with a small date, from a proof set, slipped through the cracks. And these few coins are now considered unicorns in the world of numismatics. Only a tiny handful of these have ever been authenticated. And when they show up at auction? Oh, it's a showstopper. Collectors go wild. Bidding wars erupt. Prices skyrocket. We're not talking about hundreds of dollars. We're not even talking about thousands. The verified sales of these ultra-rare 1982 proof pennies have hit values that make your jaw drop. Listen closely. One of these coins sold for $2,700. Yes, just for a penny. Another went for $7,500. Then another auction saw one sell for a staggering $18,000. And it doesn't stop there. The record so far? A pristine example of a 1982 small date copper penny from a proof set sold for a mind-blowing $79,000. That's right. $79,000. For a 1 cent coin. So how can you tell if you have one of these life-changing pennies? First, check the date, 1982. Next, look for the small date font. You can compare it to other pennies from the same year. The 2 and 8, in particular, will look slightly thinner and taller in the small date version. Next, the big one. Asterisk asterisk, what is it made of? Asterisk asterisk, a genuine small date copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. If you have a coin scale at home, weigh it. If it comes in at 3.11, you're looking at a copper coin. If it weighs around 2.5 grams, it's a zinc version, not the rare one. And lastly, was it from a proof set? These pennies will have a mirror-like shine, ultra-sharp details, and no sign of wear. Most will have come from sealed mid-issued cases. If you think you have one that fits all these characteristics, it's time to get it professionally graded. This step is crucial, because an authenticated rare variety could make you thousands, or even tens of thousands richer. And here's something even crazier. There could still be more of these coins sitting in people's basements, locked away in forgotten proof sets, or even sitting in coin shops for a few bucks, misidentified. This is why collectors are obsessed with 1982. A coin so common, yet a variety so rare. It's worth more than gold by weight. So the next time you're digging through your change jar or flipping through an old proof set, don't overlook the penny. That little copper coin could secretly be worth $2,700, $44,000, or if you're really lucky, $79,000. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the mystery of the 1982 proof penny. And that, my friend, is why you should check your coins right now. Top 3. Let me ask you a question. When you see a penny lying on the ground, do you pick it up? Most people don't. It's just 1 cent, right? But what if I told you one of those pennies, one that might be sitting in your pocket, or stashed in a drawer right now, could be worth more than your paycheck, more than your rent, more than a luxury vacation. Today, we're talking about a coin that almost no one expects to be valuable, but it absolutely is. A coin so sneaky, so under the radar, it could be in your house right now, quietly worth thousands. We're talking about the 1995 American penny from a proof set. Yes. 1995. A year most people never associate with valuable coins. But that's exactly why this penny is so shocking. Let's get into it. In 1995, the US Mint released millions of pennies for general circulation. Nothing too special, most were made for everyday use, from vending machines to pockets full of spare change. But that same year, the Mint also produced a limited run of proof sets, those ultra-detailed, mirror-finished coins designed especially for collectors. And that's where the real treasure hides. Because something unusual happened in the 1995 proof production. Something that still confuses experts to this day. A very small number of 1995 pennies from these proof sets were struck with a dramatic error, a double die. That means the design on the coin was struck twice, slightly misaligned, causing letters and numbers, especially in the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust, to appear doubled. You can actually see it with the naked eye. This wasn't supposed to happen. Proof coins are supposed to be flawless. But somehow, a handful of flawed coins slipped past quality control and into the hands of a few lucky collectors. And this small mistake? This microscopic imperfection? It turned an ordinary penny into a goldmine. Now here's the part that'll make your jaw drop. Because these coins don't sell for a few dollars. They don't sell for a few $100s. They sell for thousands. One of these 1995 proof pennies with the doubling error sold for $2,700. Another crossed the auction block for $14,000. And as more collectors realized just how rare this mistake is, prices started going even higher. One extremely clean, well-preserved example brought in $28,000. And then came the big one. At a major coin show, a graded and authenticated 1995 double-die proof penny sold for a jaw-dropping $68,000. Yes. $68,000. For a 1-cent coin. The kind of coin most people would ignore if they saw it on the ground. That's the difference between knowing what you're looking for and missing out on a fortune. So how do you find out if you've got the golden ticket? First, check your proof sets. The 1995 penny from a proof set will have a stunning mirror-like finish, razor-sharp details, and should come from a sealed US Mint collector box. Second, look closely at the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust. If you notice any doubling, like the letters look shadowed, stretched, or layered, you might be holding a double die. Next, check the coin's surface. These errors tend to happen on coins that otherwise look flawless. So don't throw out a coin just because it looks too perfect. That's actually a good sign. And finally, get it graded. If you see signs of doubling on a proof penny from 1995, you must have it authenticated by a professional grading service. That one step could be the difference between a cool collector piece and a life-changing payout. Now, let's be clear. Not every 1995 proof penny is worth thousands. Most are worth a few dollars at best. But if you have the variety, the one with the doubling, from a genuine proof set, you could be sitting on a mini fortune. A coin worth $2,700, or maybe $46,000, or, if the stars align, $68,000. So don't ignore your old coin sets. Don't assume every penny is worthless, because sometimes the smallest coin holds the biggest surprise. Go check right now. Your next move could be worth more than you ever imagined. Top 4. Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old drawer. Dusty envelopes, random receipts, a few old coins from a forgotten collection. Nothing special, right? But what if I told you that one of those coins, a simple penny, one you probably haven't looked at twice, could be worth more than your car, more than your savings account, even more than your entire monthly income? You think I'm exaggerating? Stick with me, because today, we're talking about one of the most unexpectedly valuable coins to ever come out of a US Mint proof set, the 1999 American penny. Now, at first glance, this might seem like any other coin. After all, 1999 wasn't exactly a year known for minting errors or dramatic coinage changes. The average person would take one look at a 1999 penny and toss it in a change jar without thinking twice. But here's the shocking truth: there is a rare variety of the 1999 penny, specifically from a proof set, that has collectors, investors, and dealers going crazy. It's not the kind of coin you'll find in circulation. This treasure was minted only for collectors, tucked away in glossy US Mint proof sets with mirror-like surfaces and flawless detailing. But one mistake changed everything. A small number of these 1999 proof pennies were struck with a striking error or variation that went completely unnoticed, until recently. What makes this coin so valuable? It all comes down to a high-grade proof strike, rare die characteristics, and in some cases, extremely subtle doubling or misaligned features that shouldn't be there on such carefully crafted coins. Think about that: a coin that was designed to be perfect, and one tiny imperfection turned it into a six-figure collectible. Here's what makes it even crazier. The 1999 penny proof coin wasn't on collectors' radar at first. It wasn't hyped. It wasn't flashy. But then, something happened. Coin grading services began reporting an unusual number of deep cameo 1999 pennies from proof sets showing unique die characteristics. Collectors took notice. Demand skyrocketed. And when these rare 1999 proof pennies started hitting the auction block, the results were unbelievable. I'm talking about prices that no one ever expected from a 1-cent coin. Let me give you the actual numbers. One of these rare 1999 proof pennies sold for $2,700. Another went for $19,000. And that was years ago. Then, a pristine, ultra-high-grade version, authenticated and slabbed by one of the top grading services in the country, brought in $42,000 at a high-profile numismatic auction. But the wildest sale, a perfect condition 1999 penny from a proof set, the right variety, the right strike, and the right grade, went for a mind-blowing $56,000. That's right, $56,000. For a penny. So the million-dollar question is, how do you know if you're sitting on one of these coins? Here's what to look for. First, check if you have a 1999 proof set. These are specially made for collectors and will usually be sealed in a hard plastic case from the US Mint. Second, take a close look at the penny inside. You're looking for mirror-like surfaces, frosted details, and most importantly, any unusual doubling, separation in the lettering, or striking oddities. If the coin looks too perfect or slightly off in a way you can't explain, that's a sign you might be holding something special. And here's the kicker: sometimes, the error isn't even visible without magnification. That's why serious collectors send these coins to be professionally graded. Because if you've got the right version, in the right condition, you could be holding a penny worth $2,700, $38,000, or even as much as $56,000. So before you throw out that old proof set, before you pass over that dusty box in your closet, before you toss that 1-cent coin aside like it's worthless, check the date. Look for 1999. Because the next time you flip over a penny from a proof set, you might just discover that you're holding a tiny copper treasure, a coin that could turn your spare change into serious money. Go check. Right now, that penny could be your hidden jackpot. Top 5. There's a reason people are going absolutely wild over coins right now. You see, everyone talks about old coins being valuable, those ancient pieces from the 1800s or early 1900s. But what if I told you that a relatively modern penny, one from just 2007, could be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars? And no, this isn't clickbait. It's real. And it's happening right now, under everyone's nose. Let me break it down for you. We're talking about a 2007 American penny, not just any penny, but one from an official U.S. Mint proof set. It's one of those coins that looks almost too perfect. Razor-sharp details, mirror-like background, and an overall finish so flawless it almost doesn't look real. But here's the twist: a few of these proof pennies were struck with something very, very wrong. That's right. In the world of proof coins, where perfection is the goal, a mistake is like finding a diamond in a haystack. Because when a flawless coin has a flaw, it becomes a collector's dream. In 2007, a handful of these proof pennies were struck with rare die errors, doubling, or even slight design anomalies that should have never left the mint. But they did, and now? They're quietly turning ordinary collectors into five-figure winners. These aren't coins you'll find in your loose change. These were part of official US mint-issued proof sets, the kind collectors bought and then tossed into storage, thinking they'd just slowly grow in value over time. But instead, these pennies are now at the center of some of the biggest surprises in modern coin collecting history. At first, these rare 2007 pennies from proof sets weren't widely noticed. But as coin grading companies started catching on, the demand went through the roof. Let me give you the cold hard numbers, because this is where it gets really real. One collector discovered their 2007 penny had unusual doubling in the word Liberty. They sent it in for grading. It came back confirmed, and that one little penny sold for $2,700. That's just the beginning. Another coin, almost flawless, showing rare deep cameo contrast, went to auction and fetched a whopping $11,000. Not long after that, a high-grade 2007 proof penny, with exceptional detail and one of the rarest strike anomalies ever recorded for that year, brought in $29,000. And then, it happened. One of the most pristine 2007 proof pennies ever authenticated, with perfect surfaces and an ultra-rare strike detail only found on a microscopic few, shattered expectations and sold for a jaw-dropping $58,000. Yes, $58,000 for a penny from 2007. Let that sink in. So now the question becomes, could you be holding one of these rare coins? Here's what to look for. First, dig up any proof sets you own from 2007. These sets are usually in hard plastic cases from the US Mint, and they'll have brilliant, mirror-finished coins inside. Now, examine the penny closely. You're looking for proof quality perfection, and then any tiny imperfection, doubling, shadowing in the letters, odd spacing, slight design shifts. Most of the valuable coins have small, but powerful, visual cues. The kind of thing you can miss if you're not paying attention. Once you spot anything unusual, the next step is simple but crucial: get it graded. This alone could turn that ordinary coin into a verified collectible, worth thousands. Because in today's market, with demand for rare modern coins exploding, collectors are hunting these down more than ever. And if you're lucky enough to have the right one, you could be looking at a payday of $2,700, $34,000. Or even as high as $58,000. So let this be your wake-up call. Don't ignore those old proof sets. Don't assume modern pennies are worthless. Because right now, that shiny little coin from 2007 might be worth more than your rent, more than your car payment, maybe even more than your entire savings account. Go look. Because fortune favors the ones who check their coins.